Alrighty, welcome back. Today, I want to talk about another handgun. This handgun, I think, is arguably one of the best bangs for your buck on the market right now. And it's a Star. It's a Spanish pistol. It's the Model 28. The Model 29 and 30 and the M versions of all of them are pretty similar. And it seems like a whole bunch of them just came into the country. Places like Atlantic Firearms have them for really cheap. They're like $279, and you get a lot of gun for under $300. And I was in my last video, I touched on being a broke college kid. I was talking with a couple of buddies about being young and broke, but still wanting to have a cool gun to go shoot, maybe to go plink around with, to shoot a little bit of competitions with. So I think this would be a really good contender. I do want to start out like it is a Star, and people really did not give, I don't think, Star a fair go of things in the US. They have Spanish firearms in general don't have a great reputation, especially in the United States. So that means you can normally find them pretty cheap, which is kind of neat. And I also think it's undeserved. Are there examples that are not made well? Yes, of course. But a lot of them, when they come out of A-Bar in Spain, and there's a lot of, like, the Star Factory has been around for a long time, the Llama Factory, places like that. They've been making quality firearms for a long time. And so I think that reputation is a little undeserved. We'll go over that a little bit more in detail here. But this is a Star Model 28M. And I got this gun years ago, and I paid more for it than they're going for now. I paid, I think, like $320 for this guy a few years ago, and got it really just because I wanted a companion piece for this gun. And this is my Marcolmar Set Me L. And this is what the Spanish were using. I'll hit the little camera mount there. This is what the Spanish were using in the latter part of the Cold War and early GWAT stuff. And I just wanted a Spanish sidearm to go along with it in my collection. So I found this for fairly cheap, picked it up. I know that this is not a Spanish military firearm. This is more of what, like, the police would have been carrying. But a really cool gun nonetheless. It has a really cool amalgamation of features. It has, if you can see, obviously this is unloaded, but I am going to point it towards the camera. It has the reversed frame rails like a CZ. It has like a Smith Gen 3 type safety, or, a Walther P38 or Makarov, this style of safety, Beretta even later. It's really cool. It's double action, single action. The only thing, there's two things I'm not a fan of on this pistol, actually. It's that the safety is just a firing pin block. You can see when let me get the right lighting here. You can see when I activate the safety, it just retracts the firing pin. And then when you take it off, it makes the firing pin available to be hit by the hammer. So the hammer can still drop when the safety is on. And the other thing is it has a magazine disconnect safety. So to even show you I can pull the trigger with the safety on. So you can get a click, no bang with the safety on, which I'm not a fan of. And again, I'm not a huge fan of mag disconnect safeties. The other big place you'll see that is like Browning High Powers. Don't like it there either. But, such is life. And on what is, a $300 gun after tax, it's pretty good. And what you get with that $300 is a 15 round capacity and an all steel gun. It's a little heavy. You know, it feels like the early Wonder Nines. It's definitely not as light as a Glock, but that means it is exceptionally smooth to shoot. And you get fairly basic sights, but they are adjustable, which is pretty neat. A lot of times you just get fixed iron sights on service handguns, and you get what you get. But these you can adjust. And what really blows me away about this gun is the trigger. This gun may have the best trigger of any service or duty gun out of the box. It's incredible, especially the reset. And I'll try to give you a little rundown of that here. So again, we're clear. You have, in double action, it's typical, it's heavy, it's long, you know all that stuff. But in single action, it's very short and very crisp. You have your break there, but the reset, oh, it's right there. It is exceptionally short. You can, the split times you can get with this $300 gun are impressive. And because it is so heavy, it's all steel, it's not hard to get those, those split times well and all in the A zone. Really, the biggest drawback of this gun is just sourcing more magazines. But now with the huge glut of these guns coming into the country, that's no longer an issue. You can find them on the secondhand market. You can find them on places like Gun Mag Warehouse and things like that. But now you can buy them right surplus from Atlantic Firearms when you buy the gun. It's great, to be frank. And I mentioned the Model 28 and 30. They're essentially the same guns with some quality of life improvements, some internal improvements, things like that. Functionally, they're all the same gun. But yeah, just a little quick showcase of something that I thought was underrated and super cheap right now. And it's the kind of thing, I think, like a lot of the surplus pistols coming into the market, coming into the U.S. market, over the past probably 15 years is when they come in, they're super, super cheap. And people always say like, oh, I'll get one eventually. And then the source dries up and now there's no more coming into the country. Prices increase. And now, what was a $279 gun is now a $500 gun and that kind of thing. I mean, you saw it with Mosin, you saw it with SKSs, you saw it with a lot of the Polish handguns that were coming into the country a few years ago. Right now, you're going to see it with things like this. You're going to see it with, there's a lot of 380 Italian police handguns coming into the country fairly cheap right now. I saw the single stack Berettas going for $159 on sale the other day. So like stuff like that is going to dry up, and they are going to increase in value or in price, whichever way you want to view that. But they are going to go up. So if you do think it's interesting or neat, or you are that broke college kid that wants, a Wonder 9, they're great guns. I've shot this one a fair amount. I've put probably 1,000 total rounds through it between steel case, brass case. It has fed all of that. It doesn't care about steel case. It's fed a bunch of different kinds of hollow points I've had lying around. For what it is and the price that it is, honestly, thoroughly impressed. This example has a cracked grip right there. I don't know if it'll come through on camera, but that's why it's taped on the bottom. Most of them don't have cracked grips, so don't worry too much about it. But yeah, like I said, just a quick little showcase of something I thought was underrated and maybe should be on your radar. Thanks for coming out, and I'll catch you in the next one.